Get ready, because episode 9 of The Summer Hikaru Died just flipped everything on its head. If you thought this show couldn't get any weirder, darker, or more emotional, you are in for a wild ride. We've got ancient village curses, mysterious supernatural beings, tear-jerking loyalty, and some seriously creepy twists. And today, I'm breaking down every wild turn, revealing old secrets, and diving deep into that intense, chilling ending. So let's kick things off where episode 9 starts. Everyone's back at the car after that nerve-wracking supernatural encounter in the previous episode. There's tension in the air, but there's also an attempt at normalcy. Hikaru jokes about eating some manju, but the light mood is short-lived. Everyone knows things have changed, and not in a good way. The episode subtitle, Old Man Takeda, hints at where things are headed, but first, we get a surreal, almost playful conversation. Hikaru looks and acts just like himself. But viewers should remember, this isn't truly Hikaru anymore, at least not the way everyone remembers him. The others, especially Yoshiki, are trying to come to terms with what really happened and what Hikaru's become. This brings us to the first real info drop of the episode. Old Man Takeda, a local shamanic figure with years of experience dealing with the supernatural, opens up. He explains that what the group encountered was a curse, something born from impurity, an energy or presence that feeds off the souls and emotions of the dead. He describes these impurities as almost ghost-like, sneaking into our world when the very thin boundary between the living and the dead gets cracked or distorted. Takeda admits he can push these impurities back and seal up the cracks. But he's not a god. He can't destroy them for good. He also points his suspicions toward Hikaru, saying that Hikaru attracts these spiritual impurities like a lightning rod, hinting at something deeply broken in the order of things since Hikaru's return. Takeda's explanation finally gives Yoshiki and the others a way to understand what's been happening to their town. The recent rise in hauntings and supernatural disasters isn't strictly Hikaru's doing, but Hikaru is undeniably at the center of it all, an unwilling epicenter for chaos. Hikaru is aware that he's different, possibly not even human anymore, though he doesn't seem sure of what he is now. Takeda shares something deeply personal and sad, a story from his own past about when his husband rose from the dead in a similar way to Hikaru. But he explains it was just a spirit, nothing compared to what Hikaru has become. Hikaru, in Takeda's words, is something that seems to sit outside the entire cycle of life, death, and rebirth. He's an enigma, and possibly a being of divine or demonic level. The plot thickens when the concept of Nanuki-sama, a cursed mountain god, comes back into play. The town's age-old folklore speaks of a god granting wishes, who then turned its back on the town following an ancient famine and curse, getting sealed away on the mountain. Stories suggest the Indo family, Hikaru's own ancestors, performed rituals to keep Nanuki-sama contained, but the details are shrouded in mystery and ancestral guilt. We get a gut punch of emotion as Yoshiki and Hikaru talk about what comes next. Yoshiki is turn. He loves Hikaru, or at least the person who looks and feels like him. But he also loves his village. He doesn't want to abandon either his best friend or their home, and it's clear this loyalty is eating him alive. Hikaru, for all his otherness, genuinely cares for Yoshiki and wants to help, but he confesses he can't really feel human emotions like before. There's a heartbreaking, beautifully subtle scene where Hikaru admits he doesn't understand the worth of a human life. He could abandon everything, but for Yoshiki's sake, he chooses to stay and fight. There's an uncanny loyalty there, one that blurs the line between friendship, love, and something even older or stranger. This episode is haunted by a quiet, lonely sadness. The idea that time is moving forward and the villagers are living their lives, completely unaware of the creeping horror right in their midst. They have no clue Hikaru is gone in any real sense, replaced by this uncanny double with all of Hikaru's memories, manners, and quirks. The emptiness is palpable for anyone who knows the truth. We get an odd but powerful scene as Hikaru and Yoshiki reminisce about their childhood, playing games, making up levels, being best friends. It's nostalgic but loaded with this gut-churning tension. Yoshiki asks how he's different from Hikaru, and their conversation throws the differences between imposter, Hikaru, and the original into sharp relief. The Hikaru we see isn't cruel or evil. He's just inhuman, operating on a logic and emotion set entirely his own. Yoshiki faces the agony of loss, knowing full well real Hikaru is not coming back. This sequence is raw and honest, reminding us of the brutal core of the story, the pain of losing someone, and the uniquely surreal agony of having their replacement right in front of you. Things kick back into high gear as the duo tries to unravel the curse of the mountain and the Indo family connection. Their best lead is Old Man Takeda, the aforementioned shaman, who might hold the key to everything. Getting to him, however, means facing a community full of secrets and generational shame. The village's past is tangled up in events that nobody wants to talk about, especially the truth about the Indo family's ritual for Nanuki Sama. When Yoshiki and Hikaru, posing as nervous school kids, ask about Old Man Takeda, the tension skyrockets. Takeda is frail and terrified, and he monologues with more urgency than we've ever seen. He's convinced the wave of impurities sweeping the village is coming for him next, as it's already killed others like Mise Matsura. The bitterness and panic spill out as he accuses the Indo family of triggering the curse decades ago, maybe even centuries. Takeda's rant is claustrophobic. He reveals the horror of what happens when old scores go unsettled. His panic is cut short when he starts to succumb to whatever is overtaking those marked by the curse. He insists that the Indo family's ritual was botched or disrespected, and the consequences are now coming home in the most terrifying and supernatural ways. Just as things seem to be spiraling out of control, a new presence enters, one that recognizes Hikaru. This stranger is cryptic, but his arrival at the exact moment Takeda loses himself to the curse hints at something bigger at work, possibly tied to the Indo family's guilt and legacy. The episode ends on this chilling note, leaving both our heroes and viewers dangling with more questions than answers. This episode is a masterclass in slow burn suspense and grief, carving out deeper backstory while keeping its characters constantly guessing who or what Hikaru really is. Every conversation, every lingering silence, and every tense confrontation is loaded with double meaning, secrets, and the heartbreak of loss. To sum up, Episode 9 is about the collision of past and present, the weight of family guilt, and the enduring struggle to protect loved ones, even if they're not entirely human anymore. Old Man Takeda confirms the haunting isn't done, and the Indo family's secrets may just be the town's undoing. Just when things seem hopeless, the door cracks open to even deeper mysteries. If you loved this breakdown, Let me know what twists shocked you most and what you think is really going on with Hikaru. Drop your thoughts and theories below. There's so much to unpack. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more detailed explanations and all the latest on the summer Hikaru died. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.